count the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
The most amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a New River thing. Virginia Tech fire, Radford pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as the valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark. Got the scoop, faster than a sprint, calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark.
Hey, good morning. How are you? We'll say that I may not be in the zone today. Back about 2 a.m.-ish or so from our jaunt down to Columbia, South Carolina with Radford basketball. So we're a little weary in the morning, so I apologize now. Hit us up on the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. But I'm here. I am here. McClellan Chiropractic chat room. Pressure door text line 540-391-0788. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing okay. Kion Brown joins us coming up here in just a little bit. Unfortunately, we'll talk results from Radford Hoops, another lopsided loss last night. So we'll get into that. 4 in a row now for Radford. They have a big game on Friday. We'll talk more about that. Damien Sordelett, the Virginia Tech football beat writer for the Roanoke Times, and we'll get more into the James Franklin hiring. His press conference today. We'll see how much news comes out. I will be sleeping through it. Catch up with it later. And then David Teel. Talk about his column he wrote on the hiring of James Franklin. Keeping warm with New River Heating and Air. Staying awake with Diet Pepsi and Celsius. Yeah, it's always going to be the DP, man. It's going to be Diet Pepsi. I'm not an energy drink guy at all. I don't drink any of that stuff. Well, you're too kind, Steve. 50% of Rick is better than nothing. It's probably more like 46%. Hey, Jackie Legs. Evening to you, Jackie Legs. Morning here, evening to you. Morning, Prometheus. Morning, Morse. football. And we'll muddle through today. Not a lot of energy today. But we did get to ride in Neil Leahy's Chrysler 300. We took down a couple of our sports information director and his assistant. We went down to Columbia and hung out at Colonial Life. Got to hang out with Jen for a little bit after the game. She came to see us. That was great. Good morning, Paul. That was cool. Good stuff. Good stuff all the way around. Except for the result of the game. South Carolina picked last in the SEC, but they looked a lot better than I thought they were going to look. Hokey Rock says he's running on hopium. Yeah, I see what you did there, Hokey Rocks. I see what you did. Yeah, we couldn't. We had everybody had to be back at certain points of the day. Like Neil has a 10 o'clock. At least he can sleep through it till 10. The other guys had a meeting. So it was just like we just came back. No, Joseph, I didn't hear that. Really? James Franklin? Wow. Who knew? I never saw that never saw that coming at all, man. You know, just never saw that coming.
Oh my. Oh no. Oh no. That was out of nowhere.
Remember, we predicted it on October the 20th. Just remember. Just remember. That's good. Good news. Good news. That may be a pretty big deal to people. Thanks for the news, Joseph. So Kion Brown, Damien Sordelett, and David Teel. We do, Jackie Legs. Radford's got a big game. It won't be a big game to a lot of people if you're not. And I know a lot of tech people pull for Radford, and I appreciate that. They do. And people out of the region. But they host UNC Wilmington, who's okay, pretty good team. And when you start, if your losing streak starts to fall and you start to continue to do the same things at home, now it's a Friday night, and you got high school football here. Radford's playing Glenver for a regional championship. I don't know what the crowd's going to look like, but you can't start dropping home games. They got a lot of home games coming up in December too, so that's how you can fix some things. But when this carries over and you start dropping home games against similar type of opponents, which is what they have, good mid-major team in Wilmington, I think it's a pivotal game. And I'm not going against what I say about November. You don't want to panic. You don't want to get too high. You don't want to get too low. But you don't say must win, but you need to see a lot of improvement from the things that have really hurt this basketball team, and it continued last night. Poor shooting. Not a lot of effort on defense. I'm just going to say it the way it is. I mean, the head coach, Zach Chu, said the same thing. Pre-game, they need to work on getting back, things like that, and it happened again last night. Again, it's the same pattern. Well, at least not the same pattern, but it was a pattern of close. You're there through the first three media timeouts. You know, it's a 3 or 4 point game, and you're thinking, okay. And then they go on a run. You're up by 50. You're down by 15 at halftime, and you think, well, that's not ideal. And then they come out of the chute and they spread that lead out, and it just never got better. Hey, good morning, Opal. How are you? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm concerned. I'll tell you what, for me, it's going to be right now. I think it's something that's pretty serious. If they drop Friday's game and it's in the same manner before the Dallas trip to head to SMU, then concern it's going to turn into full-fledged concern. The 2 games they've won have been at home. Now they haven't played an opponent at home like Wilmington. They played 2 teams that were picked last. So we'll see. Really, Hokie rocks. I should know your daughter then. That's pretty cool. Says, I'm a Hokie. My daughter graduates from Radford and works some of the games for different sports. So I pull for Radford too. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, man. It's Hokies and Highlanders, you know? Hey, like the theme song says. We're all in this together in the NRV, just at much different levels. That's cool. That's cool. Like, for instance, many of the people that work at Tech came from Radford, and many of the people who work at Radford came from Tech or are season ticket holders. It's, you know, it's what it's supposed to be. So, press conference at 10 today. Oh, really? Uh-oh. Sorry, Hokie Rocks. The 10 o'clock today, and it'll be, I think it'll look good. It'll sound good. It'll be over inside Castle, and they'll have a big deal, and it'll be good. Be good. Yeah, and Paul, I still think they could still be good. It's just there's some signs of type of play. I'm trying to save it until we get Kion on here because he knows he's been watching every game. He texts back and forth during the games, and he can break it down. But we'll get into it. But kudos to South Carolina. It's a must break to win or not win or improve for Lamont Parrish, their head coach in his fourth year. You remember 2 years ago they had 26 wins. They made the big dance. Then last year they only won 12 games. This year they were picked last in the SEC, but that's not a last place team. They look good. They're very unselfish. They had 22 assists last night. And any coach would just salivate over this. If you told Mike Young this, he would probably just become 10 years younger immediately. 22 assists on 34 made baskets. They were very unselfish. They moved the ball very well. And Radford never adjusted. That's just the way it was. They just never, ever adjusted or caught up. So South Carolina, 4-0. And they look pretty good. They're going to be heading to the Greenbrier. UVA's headed to the Greenbrier this weekend. It's Northwestern, UVA, South Carolina, and Butler this weekend. But I believe this is a crucial game on Friday. It's not like I'm not sitting here saying hit the panic button, but you're all sports people. You know what I'm talking about. You need to see something a little different on Friday. If it continues to be the same pattern, then we've got mega things we're going to have to look at here. I want to thank Family Fencing for sponsoring our studios. Thank you so much, Jason Green, 540-200-8294. FamilyFencingNRV.com. They're going to work through the winter time. And cold weather doesn't bother them in any way, shape, or form. None whatsoever. It's one of the times that they can get out in your yard and you're not doing anything anyway. So let them assess and come fix your stuff. I'm going to look into some things too. I will wait till the spring, though, because I haven't decided. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hundley. He's the best. Go see him, sponsor of our chat room that just absolutely explodes. I know it's great to see so many people asking. Thank you, Knicks fan. But go see Mark. Yeah, this is kind of an alternate Denver Broncos. It's got the old logo on the back, the old D. This was, I think, one of the sideline hats from 3 years ago, and I really liked it. I thought it looked cool. And it's different because this isn't an official Broncos logo, but they intercased that with all the teams. So I liked it. Really good stuff. So thank you. Yeah, it's a hat day. It's a hat day when you get, I don't know, an hour or 45 minutes of sleep. Ready, Set, Fun, ReadySetFun.com. Go see Bob Christ. BobChrist11 at Gmail. BobChrist11 at Gmail. Let them, they prepare text messages and you can raise money. You send those out. Talk to the folks at Floyd County Softball. $4,000 in a week. Check out ReadySetFun.com, and thank you for your support, Ready Set Fun. You're the best. You are the best. Yes, Mikey, praise Jesus indeed. Professional Door Incorporated, residential and commercial garage doors, family owned and operated 38 years. Go see Travis Williams. I got to go see him. I got to deliver his shirt. But I'm going to use that excuse to deliver the shirt. Travis, when I bring your shirt up, I'm going to hang out. I just like hanging around you, man. Go apply. He wants workers. Walk in and talk to him. Great career, $20 an hour. Great people, man. Great people. They are the best. They are the best. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner BDST on YouTube. Thank you to Larry Ramsey. I've been using them for 35 years. They are the absolute best. Absolute best. So go see them. BDST fan question of the week. We're getting a lot of records already. The attorney Ryan Price, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. And the question is your record for Virginia Tech. What is your record for Virginia Tech? Post James Franklin, year 1, 2026. Getting an overwhelming amount of responses. Send it to the text line, 391-0780. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Go see Charles Lee. Stay Warm, one of our chat members already referenced it. Pulaski County Sports Entertainment presents this program each and every day. Thank you to those folks. They are wonderful. Jonathan Sweet was great talking about the racetrack opening back up. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply since 1997. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. Go get your next vehicle at Harvey's GM in Radford. Go see Brad Harvey. They are the best in the business. NRV Super Bowl, your bowlers of the month, Scotch doubles champs, Jacob Ratcliffe and Mike Phillips. Companies can sign up now for holiday parties, 540-382-5525. And coming in December, late night boogie bowling, Friday and Saturday nights, bigger and more spectacular than ever. They're real and they're spectacular. 382-5525. Thanks to all the folks, Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce. All the great things that you're doing. Thank you for asking the show to be a member. It's awesome. I don't think I've left anyone out. Thank you. Keep sending the BDST fan question of the week. There's no wrong answer. Ron says 9-3 here in chat. Prometheus has got 8-4. Yep. Yep. So hit us up. Anything that might be on your mind. Then we'll hook up with Kion Brown here when he's ready. I got to send him an invite first. But the fun part was seeing Jen last night too. Hanging out with everybody and then seeing Jen. She came up after the game last night and said hey to us as we were finishing up post-game. Did not get a chance to talk to Coach Chu. He did not make it out for post-game. Did I get in at 3 a.m.? I got in about 2-ish, a little later. Maybe 2 hours of sleep. Because I can't just get up. I don't know how you are. Yeah, I saw that, Paul. I saw that. Kentucky got beat up pretty good last night. Was that Michigan State? Was that Izzo? For instance, I couldn't sleep. I can't sleep up against the clock and then come in. You know what I mean? I can't do that. So when I get up, still get up regular times. So I get up around 5, and I needed time to. You have to have time to assess whether or not you're going to be able to do this. Oh, very nice. Jen just sent a very nice picture of She and we took a picture last night. I'll have to see if I can get that on the show. Not today, though. If I try to do something really technical today, I may just destroy the whole mechanism. Morning, Rodney. How are you? Oh, and by the way, we want to thank everybody at Top Shelf Apparel. Brandon. Screen printing, embroidery, laser engraving, 540-616-8153. A lot of people are asking me about the presser. It's going to be a big thing, but it's going to be your typical press conference. You know, it's going to be presented as if this was the only place that he wanted to be. He's going to talk about how wonderful it is here, and I'm hoping that there are lots of great questions about. He probably won't talk about the process too much. You know, he will mention Brent Pry. He'll talk about that. He'll have questions about the staff. That'll start to come into clear view, I think. And then the money will be released and how much it actually is. Now, you know, Prometheus, I'm not a coffee guy. I never have been. My vice, you know, it is what it is. It's Diet Pepsi. It's the one thing that, and I guess I've gotten so immune to the caffeine, I could drink one right before I go to sleep. It doesn't bother me. But I'm not a coffee guy at all, in any way, shape, or form. I love the way it smells. I don't mind making coffee around the house, you know. Love it. Love it. But I do not drink it. I cannot. I just don't. I never have. And think about it, too. You're either a coffee guy or you're not, or a coffee gal and you're not. It's no in between. Like you don't say sometimes. No, you either are or you aren't. My biggest regret yesterday was I heard they're passing collection plates. You mean like in church? That's pretty funny. I didn't see that. We stopped at this really nice place to eat. You know, it was really popular, right next to the arena. Let me see. What was it called? Hang on. Opal. She says she's a hot tea girl. Well, I bet you are, Opal. You old hot tea girl, you. Oh, you meant the drink. It's called the Thirsty Fellow. Kind of a pub/restaurant, the Thirsty Fellow down in Columbia. We had great service. People were very nice. But I got the wrong thing. Usually I love fish and chips. And when you're at a pub, I probably should have gotten a burger, right? Probably shouldn't have got a burger, but I did not. Yeah, we're going to talk about this too. I had a couple text messages. You're going to mention what Shane Beamer said? Yeah, we put it on our Facebook page, which continues to grow. Our Facebook page is approaching 5,000 followers. So thank you. Please subscribe to the show too, by the way. Subscribe, like, and share. And I got the fish and chips. It wasn't bad, but I shouldn't have gotten that. I should have known better. You don't get fish and chips at a pub. It was just kind of nondescript, and it wasn't very filling. They brought out the two pieces, and they were kind of thin. And yeah, I heard that too, Prometheus. A lot of tech fans immediately getting a donation. I told you they're going to take advantage, and people are going to do it. They're going to be excited. No wonder I didn't sleep. Now, it didn't make me sick. It might be a situation too, by the way. I may have to wander off and get another drink this morning, so bear with me. It did make me sick. It just kind of, it's one of those things you eat and you go. Fortunately, they had, you're at an SEC school. And they had a wonderful Italian spread. They had just chicken parm that was just out of sight. So I got a big old piece of chicken and had that too. And then I felt better. But you go against your instinct. You know you're at a pub. Best thing they're going to have is a burger. The pizza was good, but I didn't want a pizza. They're known for their pizza. And I went with the fish and chips, and that's just not a good move. A lot of times you'll be out with people eating, and they'll get something. I wanted something different. Then they get it. They don't like it. And I always stay true to what I know I like, and then I'll blame them. I'll say, well, then what are you doing? If you know you like something, get it. Well, I wanted to always. Okay, well, if you always get it, that means you really like it. Well, I got to take my own advice. I blew it last night. No Paneras in South Carolina. I don't know. We don't actively look for the Paneras when we're out. I don't know, Joseph. People were hitting me up yesterday about that. I find it difficult to believe. We'll see. You know, maybe Damien Sordelett. He brought it up the first time. I don't know how Tech would feel about that. He just fired the guy. I don't know. I won't say no. They are close, and it's been pretty much confirmed by many people that, you know, Pry was a big proponent in all this. Hey, Frankie, you Miami Hurricane, you. Congrats to Tech with the home run hire, but my Canes need to be focused with this noon kick and handle business. Yeah, you are on life support. And then you get completely screwed over in the college football playoff. The college football playoff is rigged. And I didn't realize what was going on until last night when I was getting home. You know, we were riding back and I'm going through Twitter or X. And the national pundits are just seething at what came out. This whole thing is so choreographed. ESPN, so dirty, right in the middle of this. Miami beat Notre Dame head-to-head. End of story. And this is why David Smith, our NFL correspondent, who's just so good at what he does, says this is why the NFL is so appealing to him, because you are getting into the postseason based on who you beat and what your record is. It doesn't matter in college football. It's all just a matter of opinion. Whatever formula they're throwing out, none of that stuff is real. It's just not. None of it is real. And the playoff standings last night, just getting absolutely ripped. Everybody talking about how corrupt it is. So we're going to get into that a little bit. We'll talk about it with Teel and with Damien coming up in just a little while. Yeah, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Joining us now on the program, he's never terrible. I made it, KB. I made it on. Woohoo!
Woohoo! I made it on too, dude. I had a long one last night myself.
Yeah, you did. You had. Oh man, what happened? Maryland
double overtime.
Shore.
Yeah, man. They're a good team. You look at that record, but you know who they played to start? They were at Georgia. They were at Georgia. Took Georgia Tech to overtime and Creighton. That was their first three.
Wow.
And they still have Texas, Virginia Tech, and Virginia.
That's a lot of money games.
Exactly.
Right? I mean,
exactly.
That's a lot of money games.
Right.
Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah.
Well, our Highlanders.
Oh, God.
Have lost 4 in a row.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
Same things are happening over and over again. And
yeah.
That's why I think Friday is a pivotal contest for them against Wilmington. You watch. I know you're keeping up with it. Disastrous weekend.
Yes.
You made it through a couple media timeouts last night. It looked okay, and then you just completely get bombarded by the way, a team that was picked dead last in the SEC.
Yeah. I mean, I can't give Radford an excuse in this day and age in college. I just can't.
No.
I can't, because you're not the only team to have new players. You're not the only team to have new coaches and a new coaching staff. In this day and age in college athletics, man, you're expected to turn a roster around or have a successful season immediately. You just are. And if I had a nickel for every time Radford got down and guarded somebody, I'd have a nickel. I mean, can we play some defense? My God. And what is this offense? Just throw up threes. It is an NBA offense, but you got to have NBA players for an NBA offense. Oh, my gosh. Don't get me started with this, dude. I mean, die hard through and through Radford. We want those guys to be successful, but the product on the court isn't the greatest right now. It's not what I expected. I'm the guy that's under all the posts. Big South Championship loading, right? Big South, the title's going to come through Radford this year. Man, we're going to be playing on Wednesday in the tournament for the play-in the way we're looking right now. Because Longwood looks like the most physical team I've seen in the league. High Point, the talent that's there is unbelievable. Winthrop looks good. Man, it's going to be a long season for Radford if they keep this up because it doesn't look like it's improving. It doesn't look like it's getting better.
Yeah, Winthrop nearly went to Arkansas and beat the ranked Razorbacks. Lost by 1 last night.
Yes.
At Arkansas. So,
and that loss would have been so John Calipari.
I'm telling you, I don't know. It's early. I don't want to hit a panic button, but you're right. The same things. And what makes a team that can shoot so well, and if you watch them in practice, they've got shooters. You know who they've recruited. You know who they spent around that NIL money on.
Excellent players, yeah.
What makes a team just all of a sudden not be able to hit? And we're not talking defended shots. You're watching the games, KB. They have the offense in the half court when they do have sets. They're creating shots, but they just can't get anything to fall. It's just crazy how it's not transferring over from practice or shoot around into the game. So,
and I think it'll come back to the mean for them. But at the same time, you got to have a certain level of pride, a certain level of will within yourself to say, I'm going to make myself get out of this slump. I'm going to go to the Devon Center and shoot X amount of hundreds of extra shots to get better. Because you have to find a way to be more consistent, and that's how you do them by getting extra reps in. I mean, right now it just looks like, to me, a group of individuals. That's what it looks like to me. And we all know the talent is there individually, but if you want to be an individual, go play golf. It's a team game.
Well, and to your point, the most telling stat at halftime last night, South Carolina had 12 assists. Radford had 1.
Right. And you can see it on the court. I mean, and then at the same time, it's the excuse, like I said, I'm not giving them an excuse at all because in college basketball now, the practice officially starts, early October? No, it starts in June. You get team practices in June now. It's called team workouts, but that is practice. It really is. The guys have been around each other for months, just like every other team in the NCAA. There are plenty of teams with first-year head coaches that are doing excellent right now. And I think Coach Chu is going to do a fine job in that staff. But there's some adjustments that need to be made. And when he's going to have to learn on the job as well, because this is his first job. When you're as inexperienced as he is, it's not as easy as it may seem or as you thought it'd be. The work has to be put in on both sides from the players and coaches. Great staff, guys who are experienced. But when it comes to the head guy in charge, some things you're going to have to adjust, man. It just really is.
When does actual player frustration set in when you're in a situation like this? Now, see, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm asking you that question, KB, when you came up. This NIL.
I know where you're going. Yep.
The NIL might change how you respond to this kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just wondering. What do you think? When does it start to kind of become more of a frustration because you're not having success as opposed to going, oh, cool, man, I checked my bank account, everything's good.
Exactly. That's where I was going. I don't know if it does. I know when we were growing up, we held each other accountable. I mean, we all were best friends off of the court, so we knew that we could do that. We knew at the end of the day we're going to get on each other during these 40 minutes of battle, but at the end of the day, when we get back home and we're off the bus, we're back cool again. We got another game to play, but you have to hold each other accountable. You have to hold yourself accountable too. Goes back to what I said earlier. You got to get back in the gym and get extra shots up, get extra reps up, and try to find a way to build yourself up so that the team is better. I mean, you just have to. But now, day and age of sports right now, as long as that check clears, you're good. And when you're that young and you don't know what you don't know, it's all about the money right now. Guys don't really care about winning. And that's what this new day and age of college athletics is bringing. My check cleared, all right, I'll go out there and ball. It's going to be a situation coming where somebody's check isn't cleared and somebody's not going to play because it's happened a few places already.
100%.
And that's how it's happened overseas, right? Just like overseas. Something's going to be a day or two late, and then you're going to see guys sitting out. That's what it is. And that's how you know it's all about the money.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you. It's and that's why I think Friday's such a huge game. It's a home game, right? Radford usually never loses these games. Mid-major comes in, Wilmington. I know they're pretty good, but you got to come home where you've won your 2 games. And I don't know what the crowd's going to look like. Radford High School's got a huge playoff game on the road. The students might start be thinking about leaving for Thanksgiving already. Because, sure. I don't know what the crowd's going to look like, but they need to defend home court, right? That's how you can get hurt. That's how you can get well in a hurry when you have a home game. So
yeah, we'll see. We're going to learn a lot about Radford on Friday. We're going to learn a lot about the staff, about the players, excellent players on the squad, talented individuals, but you got to do it together as a unit. I mean, you got all of these transfers, NC State, Dennis Parker. I'm a Dennis Parker guy. He's been unbelievable. Guys coming over from Minnesota, from Clemson, guys starting out at Oregon, from Tulane. Come on, there's some talent on this team. You just got to piece it together.
Right now, Virginia Tech not having that problem. Now, granted, they scheduled a lot of home games for success.
Yes.
Mike Young wanted, he knew what he was doing. They're winning games they're supposed to be winning. They have a good win at Providence, but they continue to look really good. But again, we're going to see now as their schedule gets a little more challenging how they adjust to things too, because you know how coaches are. You know this industry. You know how when you look at a home schedule and the kind of opponents that are on that schedule, you're scheduling games to get out ahead and start stacking wins, and Tech's done that so far.
Yeah, and they got one of the best freshmen in the country. Like I said, though, this year for freshmen is ridiculous. I think it's the best in the history of college basketball. When June comes around, the first 10 picks could all be freshmen, and that's saying something, including Neo Abdallas from Virginia Tech. That kid is unbelievable. That game he had against Providence, my God, just woke the world up. We heard of him. We've been talking about him on the show for months now, but to actually put eyes on him and see how good he can be is scary. This is a good Virginia Tech team, a team that we said we expect to at least be in the NCAA tournament. They got shooters. They've got an excellent point guard. They've got the coaching staff. They got everything they need. They really do. And one of the most telling wins from Tech this year was that win versus St. Joe's, because if you go back to last year when they played St. Joe's at Castle Coliseum, they got blown out. They got ran off of the floor at home by 20 plus. Now you fast forward and they blow those guys out. So that's just the tale of 2 seasons. But I think Virginia Tech has everything they need to be successful. I think the ACC is back. They'll be one of those teams that represents the league in the NCAA tournament come March.
Yeah, he's one and done, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's out of there. It's over. Yeah. Enjoy him, Tech fans, while you can. Go get tickets while you can.
He's going to be in the league next year, isn't he?
Yeah, he's out of there. He's going to be a lottery pick.
Yeah, he's
for
good.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, switch to some football. Your thoughts, Virginia Tech, James Franklin.
I thought we were going back.
It's been going for a while. Finally, it's official, and I agree with everybody. I mean, this is what Virginia Tech needed. Now they have to go out and get the James Franklin who did the whole Vanderbilt thing and then won at Penn State. Come in here with the right kind of mindset and turn this thing around, which I think he can do.
Perfect hire. I think he's brought new life to the program. I think he's about to wake a sleeping giant. I think Virginia Tech football is about to be relevant again. The national media is already there. Everybody's going to be at that press conference this morning. You're going to have every major news outlet there, and rightfully so. I think they got the guy that's going to turn that program around and bring it back to it. I'm not going to say they'll be as good as when Frank Bremer was there, but they could be. I think they could be, but the right hire was made. I think you've got a guy who knows how to win, who knows how to recruit in the area. He's going to have to get better quarterback play from what he had in Penn State. But I think that with a hire by Virginia Tech, that would have been my first, second, third, fourth, and fifth option. I would have did everything I needed to do to get him, and luckily they did. Seemed like he was trying to wait on a few more schools, as you've been talking about on the show the last week or so. But, hey, you got your guy, now you move forward. You get this thing rolling. I think Virginia Tech's about to be one of the most competitive teams in the ACC. The ACC is on notice. And you can tell folks around the country are starting to recognize that, and they're starting to panic a bit.
Yeah, it was no surprise it all came together when they realized, Jimmy Sexton, that nobody else was going to jump into the sweepstakes. I mean, let's just say it the way it is. It won't come up at the presser today. It'll be denied. This is the place I've always wanted to be. So it's not about what people – I don't care what he says about how happy he is to be at Tech. I'm interested in some of the facts that come out of this, because it's press conferences are structured to be a certain way.
Right. Yeah.
But I want to see about the staff. I want to hear about the port. I want to hear about his plan going forward. That's what I want to hear. The one specifically for Blacksburg.
Well, like you said, when the press conference comes, all the coaches that have press conferences are always well prepared. They have it mentally in their mind what they're going to say and how they're going to say it. It's going to be politically correct. It's going to sound great. It's going to be a lot of slogans. You're going to get the old cliche press conference, right? So be prepared for that, Tech fans, because it's coming. But I think he's a guy that has proven himself. Sure, he hasn't won the huge games at Penn State that he should have won, I will say. But hey, when you're what was his record? 116 and 20 something? Come on.
Yeah,
now.
it's something. He's won 68% of his games since he's been a college head coach. So
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. So congratulations to Tech, and we'll see how that unfolds today. One of the reasons college basketball's playoff format is the best we've ever seen is because of what we're seeing in the college football format. There is some opinion in college basketball. It's less important now at the expanded field, and then next year they're going to expand it more. I know there's some teams that are left off the bubble. Maybe one or two have an argument every year, but this college football playoff has angered everybody to see the way they do it. It's pretty clear what's going on with the structure and how TV's controlling the playoff on the football side. With Miami continuing to be – they beat Notre – head-to-head. When head-to-head means nothing, I don't know why we play the games.
Right. So that's where we are with the football. I didn't see the updated football, so they got the top programs or something that was going to bring in the revenue.
Yeah, they got the they got the playoff, the college football playoff rankings, and they've got Notre Dame still ahead. They got Miami right now out of the playoff.
And they won the head-to-head with Notre Dame.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, gosh. Don't make it so obvious. It's like when North Carolina's president was on the board for the tournament last year, and he said
last team to get in.
Right. Yeah, come on now. Same thing. North Carolina had no business in the NCAA tournament.
That's right. I forgot about that controversy because it was 4 or 5 other teams had much better resumes.
Yes.
He just happened to be on the committee. Oh, Carolina's got the last bid. Shocker.
Yep. Exactly. And they got blown out in the first round.
Yeah.
They won the playing game, but they won,
Yeah, I know. How good is Boozer at Duke, by the way? He looks
really good.
Yeah.
He's like a combination of his dad and probably Paulo Banchero.
Whew.
That's what I say.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, his dad was really good. I don't think people remember how good Carlos Boozer was.
From Alaska.
The number 1 pick. Right.
From Alaska, yeah.
The number 1 pick in the draft. I think it was 2000, I think it was.
Yeah.
Won a national championship at Duke, was a multi-time All-Star, a guy who had multiple max contracts with Cleveland and Chicago. That guy could play. Now he's got these 2 kids. The other son is good too. The one that's on the bench, the point guard. By the end of the season, he's going to be a guy that's contributing and might even be a starter for Duke. You got some guys, man.
How good does ACC look to you? I mean,
overall, it's looked pretty good. It's looked pretty good. I've been impressed. I'm still not on North Carolina yet. I'm just not.
They struggled last night against Navy.
Yeah. I'm just not. But I believe in Duke. I definitely believe in Louisville and what Pat Kelsey's done. I love what I saw from NC State. They barely made it out against VCU, but I wanted to see them in a close game and how they closed it out. They closed those guys out. UVA and Ryan Odom look great. Virginia Tech and Mike Young. It's a great league, man. It really is. Miami looks good. Under the new coach Lucas. I mean, it's a league that's going to have about 6, maybe even 7 teams representing it in the NCAA tournament. And good for them because the last few years has not been good basketball in the ACC. Pretty much outside of Duke and Louisville was pretty good a season ago as well.
Yeah, it's good to see that it's bouncing back. I agree with you. It feels like it can be an 8-bid league again this year, right?
And college basketball is always better when the ACC is good. Always.
It is. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, when we had these years where maybe you didn't know 4 teams were going to get in. You're like, what's going on in the ACC, right? So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, it's some big stuff coming up. I know the non-con can be one way or the other. You don't want to hit the panic button, but I think for our Highlanders, we need to get it done on Friday.
Yeah, but in the blink of an eye, we'll be at conference play. Conference play starts next month.
I know.
The season flies by. I mean, gosh, we're, 2 weeks away from December. So that means we'll be 3 weeks away from conference play. It comes fast, man. Yeah, man. Remember we talked about another thing. Last year, I forgot to mention. Last week, we were talking about Willy Wonka, my favorite movie. You know what my daughter's name is, right? It's Violet.
Yeah,
that's where I got the name from. Yeah.
Is that where you got the name?
Absolutely.
I love that.
No doubt about it.
That's a good movie, man. That's a great movie. Great movie, actually. Because Gene Wilder's just a freaking genius.
Yeah.
Just a genius.
Frankenstein.
That's one of my Young Frankenstein. Yes. That is so well done.
Yeah.
So well done.
I watched it not too long ago.
Yeah, it's great. By the way, you're looking sharp in your suit picks. I don't think anybody looks better in a suit than Kion Brown.
Oh, I appreciate that. I put a lot of effort in those suits, man. There's a lot of strategic, thinking when it comes to picking a suit. A key for a suit for anybody watching is get solid colors. Don't do too much. Solid colored suits. You got guys with the picnic table suit. Come on, you don't need all that. Solid color suits is always the way to go, and then get it tailored. Spend the extra money for the tailor. Now the thing about the tailor though is that you can't gain any weight. I'll tell you that.
That's true. Well, you're tall.
Yeah.
So, for you, it has to be a little more difficult. So you have to have a tailor, right?
Yeah, I have to. There's not a suit, unless it's custom made, that'll fit me right off the rack from any store. They always have to add extra length in the arms. They always have to add extra length in the pants. And then they add extra length to just to adjust it. I'm like, what kind of sense does that make?
Really?
But, yeah.
So you're cool. You're okay with solid color, right? You don't want any pattern. You don't want any pattern in your suit.
I can do pattern, but I want light pattern. It's got to be very light pattern.
Are you strict on the color? Would you wear something wild, like a nice blue? Would you ever show up in some of this? Sometimes they'll have like a dark, like almost.
Oh, absolutely. My favorite suit is a purple suit.
You've got I thought I saw you in a purple.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah. Is it shiny? It's not shiny.
It's not shiny. It's like a darker purple.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's almost charcoaly, if that makes sense.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a plum color.
Yes, and every time I wear it, I get compliments left and right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, man, you're stylish. Now, I'm not a big suit broadcast guy.
Yeah.
You pull it off. You look good.
Yeah, but I know that though. So I know that when I come to Radford,
you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I don't have to. Yeah, I'm good.
I just look at it's sports. Let's be comfortable and have some fun. I don't want to be sitting there all buttoned up. Now, if I was on a national network, it'd be a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wayne says, "What kind of tuxedo would you wear to the prom?"
I wear the tuxedo Marty McFly wore. And
did you? Is that what you had?
Yeah. But I didn't have a prom, unfortunately. I went to an all-boys boarding school.
Oh.
I went to Fort Union Military Academy for 2 years. No proms there. They had a dance, but I didn't trust who was coming, so I didn't.
Paul has a good idea. Now, you look good. You should get like a top hat and a cane with your suit. And you could be like Willy Wonka.
Yeah, and wear the khaki colored suit.
Oh, you look great there. You look sharp. And then you could come out when you're coming on press row. You know how Willie pretends. You could come out like you could do the whole opening scene when we see him for the first time.
And everybody's going to say, what this guy smoking? This guy's smoking something. This guy.
What's your class Thanksgiving schedule coming up?
School next Monday and Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, back at school for 3 weeks. Then we're off for 2.5.
Oh, wow. And I know you're excited about that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's going to fly by. I need a third quarter like last year with all those snow days, man.
Yeah.
Gosh, we were only in the third quarter for about 15 days. My gosh, I need another one of those.
Jimmy, Kion already dresses better than Cam Newton ever did. No question. I don't know what Cam Newton was doing, but that's all right, man. Listen, great stuff as always, and I'm sure we'll be communicating back and forth on Friday.
Yeah, we will. We got to come on, Radford. Come on, man. Give me something. You guys got the talent. Come on, man. Put it together. Get it together, guys. You guys can do it.
I
believe in you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. All right, brother. Have a great week.
All right, bro.
All right. Great stuff. Kion Brown. Good as always. Great as always. Fun stuff. Yeah, you need to check out his social media. He takes pictures of himself in the suits and because he can, and he looks great. He looks great. We're working on getting Rick in a suit for radio. I can tell you that's very unlikely to happen. Yeah. Miami won't make the playoffs if they don't win the ACC. I'll tell you that. I see that, Joseph. They won't make the playoffs if they lose if they don't make the championship game. They won't get it. They won't get an at-large. Yeah. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I don't know. We'll see. Head-to-head should matter. Shouldn't matter who you lost to elsewhere. It shouldn't matter who you beat head-to-head if it comes down to that team. You beat that team. And that should trump everything else. I mean, why the hell play the games? It's like in the playoffs. That's what David Smith was saying. If a lower seed beats a high seed, the high seed doesn't get a do-over. The team that may have come from a tougher division that had better losses, if you will. It's just weird. Just strange stuff, man. But we'll talk to David Teel and Damien about that too. I don't know. The whole playoff thing, and there's no formula. It's just a matter. It's just opinion. You know what was better? And this is crazy to say. The old BCS formula is better than what they use for the college football playoff rankings every week. At least it had a computer algorithm that they would explain. Now I have no idea, other than just opinion, what they're doing. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. So we'll see. We'll see. But when you start talking about who had the better losses, that's already telling you that you're just barely a playoff team. But all I know is Miami won the game. And that's the question that needs to be answered. If you win the game and your resume is similar record-wise, why play the game? Why does the result matter? And we're already questioning results with all the gambling things that are going on. We don't need another reason to question why are we even bothering to play the games. And that's what the people who continue to run these things that are in there for their own greed and self-interest, like ESPN, like the SEC, like the Big Ten, and all they're worried about is getting as many people in there as they can with positioning. Again, it's up to fans on how much they want to take. So, anywho. David Teel coming up at 7:40 today. Thanks to Kion Brown. Thanks to you for keeping me going in chat after getting back very early this morning from Columbia, South Carolina. Joining us now on the program, he's the Virginia Tech football beat writer for the Roanoke Times, Damien Sordelett. What's up, Damien? How are you, man? Good to see you.
Morning, Rick. You're probably mainlining caffeine right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Woo! Yeah, we got in about a little after 2. About an hour and 45 minutes of sleep. But, hey, I'm here. I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
Yeah, I went through that Saturday night, Sunday morning, driving straight from leaving Tallahassee at 1 a.m., get in Jacksonville about 3:45 to drop off the rental car, go through TSA, and board the flight at around 4:30. Luckily, I got back home or landed in Virginia about 8:15.
Oh, good. That's good. Yeah.
Then I set myself to zombie mode for the rest of the day that way, if James Franklin to Virginia Tech came up, I could switch myself back on.
How much? First of all, how funny was it? I know you're like me in a similar boat. You and I have been talking about this for almost a month, right? James Franklin was immediately put out there when this whole thing started. It shows up on game day, and then people are like, "Oh my gosh, did you hear James Franklin?" I'm thinking, yeah, we've been talking about. We know ESPN finally got caught up with the story that all the folks here locally and regionally knew was going on. You know, I thought that was funny. I was up at the Greenbrier with Radford. I'm thinking, so it shows up now, so people are going to take it seriously. You know, this is like,
yeah, I wrote about that.
Good.
ESPN's like early talks, and I was like, people in Blacksburg know that this has progressed far further along than early talks. I mean, the fact that the flight tracking stuff was happening Friday night, if you kept up with the message boards, and people were on the runway waiting for Jay Pearson's private jet to land and greeting Bud Foster and asking him if the MOU was signed, which by some reporting from people, it sounds like the MOU was delivered that day and was either signed or very close to being signed. So By the time I think Pete Thamel was told what to say by Jimmy Sexton.
Oh, no question. No question.
Because this was the last best chance for anyone else who wanted Franklin to get in on it.
100%.
Yeah.
He wanted, and it won't come up. He won't ever say it. It'll never be. Tech was not in any way, shape, or form where he wanted to be at the end of the day. He's going to pretend that this is his choice all along, but they have kept Tech, and you and I've talked about it, at arm's length because they were exhausting every other opening or potential opening to see, and they got a bunch of no's. And I know this because I talked to somebody in the industry whose coach happens to be a Sexton client. So this isn't make-believe. We're not making this up, but good for Tech that it worked out. I'm happy. But anybody who wants to say that he was locked in on Blacksburg, he would have signed this 3 weeks ago if that were the case.
Yeah, but at the same time, Jimmy Sexton doesn't want to see his client come off the board and set the market that early.
That's true too. That's true too. Yep. And by the way, chat's already picked up on it. They said, you know what? We're going to have to owe Damien a huge apology if this thing plays out and all of a sudden we see Brent Pry added to the staff.
All right, so I'm going to amend this.
So good for you, man. You were all over it.
I'm going to amend this. Not defensive coordinator, because I know that's what woke up the chat last time. How about director of high school relations?
Sure, yeah. How do you think Tech will – I don't know. I'm asking the question. Do you think Tech would have a problem with the coach they just fired, or because they're going to be paying Franklin so much money, and we don't know? We'll find out, I guess, today what the parameters are. But you think they'd be like, all right, do you want to bring him back? It's not something you see very often. It's all.
Right. I'm thinking from a recruiting standpoint, Brent Pry was very good at building relationships.
In the state and everything. Yeah.
And if you have him essentially doing the legwork on that end and getting those guys teed up for your coaching staff and for Franklin, that's a win because Pry can sell Virginia Tech. Hell, he sold Virginia Tech to James Franklin.
Yeah, he was a big impact. He was crucial in this. He was.
Yeah. So I mean, might as well if he wants to do that and not be on the coaching side initially, like you can have him do director of high school relations, help with the recruiting, and then maybe in a couple years, if you need a defensive coordinator. Pry was very good as defensive coordinator. No one's disputing his credentials as a defensive coordinator. No one's discussing his credentials as a human being and a recruiter. It's the head coach that people were booing off the field. It wasn't the person. So
That's a great point. That's well said. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say Pry is well received in Blacksburg as a man. Like, people respect him. They weren't happy with how he was as a head coach. So I have a feeling people would, if he's in a position where he can help recruit and help win the state, and where Virginia Tech is bringing in the top talent from the state and it's not going elsewhere, I think people would very quickly change their perception of Brent Pry and say, okay, this guy can be fired from his job at Virginia Tech, get his best friend and his family to come to Blacksburg and take over the program and then help win recruiting battles. I have a feeling like his head coaching stint here would be water under the bridge in a matter of months if that were to happen.
Well, you just said it better than anybody else is going to say it. People were not booing Brent Pry, the human being. They just booed because he wasn't ready to be a head coach, and that was on Tech for even Whit Babcock for putting him in that situation. It never got better. And you're right. They just, hey, you're not giving us the results. And I don't think anybody would say, if that happened, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that would push back on it. You might have some, but I think most people would understand their personal relationship. Franklin basically helped get him the job here, and I think it helped Tech land, like you just said, his mentor in Blacksburg. Yeah. So 100%. We're going to hear a lot of fluff today at the presser, but what's your guess? What do you think in salary range we're going to be looking at here?
Depends on how much the offset is going to be. That $9 million It's not a one lump sum. It's going to be paid out over time. So is Virginia Tech on the hook for like $8 million the first couple of years, and it goes up to like 10 to 11 million after that? I'm expecting a 7-year deal at the most, probably ranging, probably between $70 to $84 million over the life of it. That would be the expectations, between $10 to $12 million a year. Tech basically said they wanted to play in the ballpark and with head coach compensation that was comparable to the top programs in the nation. And if you're going to play with the big boys, you got to pay like the big boys. So that's why I think you're going to get Franklin in that ballpark, and set the market in a way. I know Lane Kiffin's deal is going to trump this considerably, but you're going to see Franklin on par with Dabo, with Belichick, with Norvell, on par with several SEC and Big Ten coaches. So, he'll be behind Cignetti, Day, probably Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin. But the number of coaches, especially when the USA Today report comes out, the number of coaches that will be ahead of Virginia Tech's coach will drop from, 43 were ahead of public schools, ahead of Pry, because I think it was 44th.
Wow.
Now you're going to probably say top 10.
Yeah. And he's going to turn around the talent level. There's two reasons. Everybody's putting it just on Franklin. It's not just on Franklin. These recruits also know, and their handlers, Tech's commitment now to the NIL. It's going to be bigger than ever before. They saw the money that's been approved. This is going to go hand in hand with a guy who's already a great recruiter, and that's what he's based his whole success on. He did it at Vanderbilt. He's done it, obviously, at Penn State, and he knows this area. So it is the perfect storm, isn't it, to have a guy like that come in, plus they know, okay, now I can go out here and I can look at Virginia Tech like I could look at another ACC school or even a SEC school money-wise.
Yeah, from a NIL standpoint, I think Virginia Tech is significantly increasing what it's going to do for football, and that's a big help. Brent Pry was talking about Moneyball, if you remember last recruiting cycle with the transfer portal, where it was like a player came in and asked for $400,000, and Pry's like, yeah, we'll pass. And he's like, well, what if we can get 3 to 4 players and their total is $400,000? So he was playing Moneyball, which kind of, puts one hand behind your back in terms of what you can offer. And Pry was always about, I want these kids to come play for Virginia Tech because they want to be here, not because of, their NIL deals. Now Franklin can go get the guys that he wants to bring in who want to be at Virginia Tech, but also are going to get compensated for being here at a much higher level. So, unfortunately for Pry, all this got approved after he was fired. But Franklin, because of his success at Penn State and understanding how to manage a roster, he's going to bring in a GM. We've already discussed who that's going to be. Andy Frank, if I'm not mistaken, is the name, who is at Penn State with him, and Vanderbilt.
Yes.
They understand how to manage.
Yeah.
They understand how to manage a Big Ten roster and the money that comes with it. I expect it'll be business as usual, even though it's an ACC roster. They're going to treat it like a Big Ten roster in terms of, NIL payments, how you handle revenue sharing. Franklin's been a part of that. So he's going to understand how to balance the roster and all that stuff. And I think that's going to be a big thing moving forward, that Virginia Tech's going to be able to land big recruits. This recruiting weekend is going to be massive for Virginia Tech. And I have a feeling they will be in contention for one of the top quarterbacks in the transfer portal this cycle. And wouldn't be surprised to see offensive linemen be contention for that. Linebackers, safeties. You'll be able to go get like a Caleb Downs if he's on the market.
Yeah.
He's going to the NFL, but you can get someone of his caliber.
Right.
Yeah. Like a Jeremiah Smith. Like I mentioned in the Ohio State players that are making a bunch of money right now through NIL, and probably through revenue sharing because they're bringing in the eyeballs. But now Virginia Tech's going to be able to play in that sandbox.
Yeah, I agree. It really is the quarterback he's got to nail. He had trouble developing quarterbacks consistently at Penn State. There were some outliers. So that's something that I hope – I'm looking forward to seeing who the coordinators are going to be and how the structure of the staff is going to look. But that's going to be the first thing, right? Once he gets here and gets through all this stuff with the media, let's go find my quarterback, make sure he's the right guy to lead this new program that I'm bringing to Blacksburg.
And who say he wasn't already getting a up close look at the new quarterback this past week at Old Dominion?
Yeah. You think maybe he was already planning ahead? Because that kid is lights out, man. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see.
Colton Joseph is going to get paid. That is a quote from David Teel, and I am stealing it.
He's right.
And I would, honestly, Ricky Ronnie's making $850,000 as the ODU head coach. You double his salary, bring him in as the OC. You bring in Decker, the OC there. You bring him in as the quarterback's coach and the passing game coordinator. You run that offense.
Yeah. Do you think Ronnie would do that? I mean, I know the money would be better. You're running your own program now. I wonder if he'd willingly step aside. I don't know what his preference is.
Here's his ceiling, and this is his head, and he's currently hitting his head on the ceiling.
You think ODU is it for him? You think that's
they don't have the money? If you look at how ODU has to fund its athletic program, they're up there with James Madison in terms of how much they have to get student fees to cover it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thought. Yeah, I mean, it's a thought. He was visiting the whole program. He didn't just show up randomly to say hi to Ricky Ronnie. In retrospect, now, right at the Troy game,
and the Troy head coach worked for him at Penn State.
That's right. Yeah.
But at the same time, you get a look at this is a fun offense that spreads you out, but also is effective running the ball. This might be something worth bringing to the ACC.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, and we brought it up the week of the ODU game, week 3. ODU is one of only 3 teams that has played Indiana close this year.
They did. First game, right? I think that was the very first game.
First game. And if Colton Joseph didn't throw a couple interceptions, that game's probably closer than what the final score was. And the final score was not that far. That far off. So it's proven that offense can score and be effective against a Big Ten defense. And a Big Ten defense that is very good. I mean, I'm starting to fill out All-America teams, and I've got Indiana players on defense on there, several of them. They're good. So, I would look at that. I would look at ODU. And here's the thing. If you're bringing Penn State players with you, how many ODU players do you think are going to follow Ronnie to Virginia Tech?
I know. It's a good thought, man. It's a good thought.
Depending on how many players enter the transfer portal, you'd be able to quickly fill your roster just from 2 spots. People who want to follow Franklin, people who want to follow Ronnie.
It feels like to me this can happen year one, given the league in which Tech plays. Because if you look at the teams that are, good now, they're not overwhelmingly good. Miami is always going to be hyped, but they haven't delivered enough to get the respect of the committee. Clemson is down a little. I don't think it'll last. Florida State might be looking for a new coach. We don't know. Georgia Tech doesn't look great. They almost should have lost a couple of games, BC being one. The Wake Forest game, they got a very favorable call. So it's right there for them. And this feels like, to me, year one, Tech can be an ACC contender once they reload the roster. I really believe that. It feels like that. next year.
Oh, yeah, because Georgia Tech's got to replace Haynes King.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of other really, like their offensive line as well. So that's going to be, you're going to have to hopefully either have some players in waiting or you're, reloading through the transfer portal. I know people were talking about this on the chat about UVA. They got to hit a home run on their next quarterback out of the transfer portal unless, they got someone in the wings waiting. But I think UVA has found the right calculus to be successful in this era, especially with the money they're getting in and how they're able to invest in the roster. I think UVA can still be good moving forward. But Miami's going to go to the transfer portal for a quarterback. I already saw the chatter on the message boards about it being Lenore Sellers going down there. Clemson, again, they'll have a new quarterback because Klubnik's going to graduate. I think Pitt's going to be good. They're going to have their quarterback back.
Yeah, if you keep him,
but
yeah.
You look at the schedule: Miami and Clemson on the road, Georgia Tech, Pitt, NC State, Virginia at home. Luckily, you're not going to Brazil to play one of those games.
Right.
And then you're going to add a ninth ACC opponent. So likely dropping James Madison from what I've heard, keeping VMI, ODU, and Maryland as the rest of your non-con.
Ooh, they get a lot of kickback if they drop James Madison. Ooh.
Well, so right now the buyouts for those games, it's $500,000 for VMI and then $800,000 for JMU and about $800,000 for ODU. And you've already restructured the ODU series and knocked out all the games in Norfolk. So if you're thinking you're going to have 10 power conference opponents, you want to keep your FCS.
I hope that doesn't happen. That would be a bad optic for Tech.
But
that would be a horrible optic if they say we're going to buy out the JMU game, given where JMU is right now. Oof.
You just move it back.
Yeah.
You just move it back. They've already moved it back once before. You just move it back again and maybe give them a better guarantee. Besides, we don't know who James Madison's coach is going to be next year. Is Chesney going to Penn State? Is he going to UCLA?
It's not going to be Bob Chesney. You're right. It's not going to be Bob Chesney. And by the way, I got to ask Teel too, but my guy, he's been all over this Franklin thing. That's got legs. It's got to be something with Martin Jarmon, the AD out there at UCLA, who was at BC when he was at Holy Cross. I don't know what the relationship is, but that Chesney to UCLA is legitimate mutual interest. And I don't get it because they're not serious about football out there.
But here's the thing. Chesney is not going to demand as high of a contract or as high of a salary as some of these other established power conference coaches.
That's true.
Chesney's making less than $1 million a year right now. And so what's he going to top out at? $4 or $5 million a year?
Yeah. For him, that'd be tough.
That's in UCLA's wheelhouse.
Oh, UCLA would be a huge home run. I just don't see it attractive for him.
Penn State would be a better fit for him. And if what I'm hearing is correct, it's Penn State's kind of zeroed in on him. And I have a feeling because he's from that region, he's from Pennsylvania, going back home wouldn't be a bad move. You just have to get Penn State people to come to the realization, okay, we're now at a position where the James Madison coach is our best option and not going for another sitting power conference coach. And I think people got to realize Chesney has the track record of he goes to places and gets them turned around quickly. And so that'll be interesting. But from the optic standpoint, I think if you tell James Madison, hey, we'll move you back. There's still 4 games on the Liberty series. Maybe you say, hey, we're going to drop a couple Liberty games here, or at least the one in Lynchburg in 2030, and have them come here for 3 straight years. Why don't we put you in 2030, come into Blacksburg? We'll up your guarantee from $800,000 to maybe $1.2 million to sweeten the deal there. And I think that would work. Just shuffle it back a bit. Because honestly, from what I've heard, like with going to this 9-game league schedule, these programs want to play at least one FCS game a year, so that way you're not, running the gauntlet every week. You need that 1 week where, on paper you should win, and if you go out there and execute, that's when you can get a lot of young players some reps.
Well, it's going to be interesting. And now this is the best part too, Damien. We said this too, you and I. I mean, now Tech's got this done, and they can just sit back, all the Tech fans, with popcorn like all the rest of us, and see how these jobs are going to fall, right? And all the openings, the whole Kiffin drama it's just weird. I mean, Tech now doesn't have to worry about that. And this administration, this new football administration, get off running on a great start and do their thing and focus on, getting talent on the field, and instead of having to sit and wonder who your coach is going to be. It's really such an advantage now for Tech and their fans. Huge.
Right.
Huge.
And from this perspective, Franklin gets 2 weeks to see the players up close in practice.
In game, right.
In game, in meetings, all that stuff. Gets a read of what they are. These coaches get a 2-week interview process, unless Franklin's already got his staff assembled. If there's any questions about, if any positions that needs to be filled, you got a 2-week interview process here. We mentioned the big recruiting weekend against Miami. There's going to be a lot of recruits. A lot of recruits. And then from the other standpoint is, from a portal standpoint, Franklin's already probably getting a jump on that. I mean, there was no restrictions on him as a private citizen being able to go out and talk to people. So he's got a leg up. And the fact that he was hired with 2 weeks left in the regular season, I know Virginia Tech fans wanted him earlier, but I think getting him now, it's not too early. It's still a little early, but it's to the point where this makes so much sense that he's going to be able to go out and assess the roster. And it's so much easier. It's so much better to get live. You're there. You're getting to see things versus watching on television.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and he gets to sit on meetings. He gets to see them on campus. He gets to see them at practice. He's going to be able to evaluate this roster and figure out who he wants to keep. Now, honestly, I'm saying throw a bag at Jeff Overton. Throw a bag at Marcellus Hawkins. Keep these offensive linemen. Keep some of these freshmen that have been playing, like Noah Chambers, Sheldon Robinson, Brennan Johnson. Keep those guys and have a good nucleus. Aiden Green. Whatever bags you need to throw at them, keep them. So I think this is a great opportunity for Franklin to get to know the roster and then know what needs he needs to go after, whether it's high school recruiting, whether it's the portal, and he's going to be in a Virginia Tech's going to be in a much better position after everything is said and done with the high school signing class and the transfer portal and all these other places, because they're going to be hiring their coach after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And the signing day is December 3rd. Franklin's going to be able to, among all these openings, Franklin's going to be able to get guys. Because if they're deciding between like Auburn and Virginia Tech or
they have to wait.
Arkansas and Virginia Tech, Franklin's going to be like, I'm here.
Let's go. Let's
you
go.
You don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's a good plan, man. Well, all I know is if we find out today or if we find out later this week that Rick Prize on the staff, you're going to get your flowers. Peeps are already giving you. It's going to be awesome. We'll see. I like that idea, though. I like your idea of what he could actually do instead of being on field. I think that makes a lot. If he'd want to do that, I'm sure he would, because it's his mentor. So yeah.
And he's got his house. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to uproot his family.
That's right. He's here.
I know his family, like particularly his wife and daughters, are very close with the Franklin family.
Yeah.
If he's on staff and they don't have to move,
why not? Why not?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that makes sense. And and to your point, Tech fans. No, I don't think there'd be one Tech fan that would not sign off on it. There's not one. Maybe there would be. I shouldn't say that, but very few. Very few would
if
have
he's
a problem.
off field and helping with recruiting, I don't think there's any.
I wouldn't think so.
Going to be any issues with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. That's cool. Yeah. Well, have fun today. Looking forward to your piece. Will you have stuff posted? I'm sure you're already starting to work on things, but will you have something up online and it shows up in the paper tomorrow, later today?
Oh yeah.
Good,
oh yeah.
Good.
It's going to be busy. Multiple stories from this. We actually get to talk to Philip Montgomery tonight after
good.
Yesterday's presser was canceled. So at least we'll get something on Miami because there's a game happening against the number 14.
Oh yeah. Tech's already won the game. They've already won their last 2 games.
Yeah. I don't know about the buyout. I have a feeling you can negotiate that for prize buyout.
Absolutely.
And like maybe put that off as deferred compensation.
Yeah.
Down the line, say, all right, we'll pay your buyout over instead of the $6.8 million coming in like in a short period. We'll just spread that out evenly over more years, but I don't want to turn into like the Bobby Bonilla Mets deal where he gets paid by the Mets every July 1st
right.
for years and years.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be fascinating. Like I said, they'll win the presser today. He's very good with the camera. Yeah, that's why it was also a big consideration for him. He really seriously thought about TV. He had a standing situation he could have gone to pretty easily at ESPN, but decided at the end of the day that Tech was the best offer. So it'll go well today. Today will be a day that'll excite Tech fan even more. So
yeah, and he won over the BOV yesterday up in Alexandria. So now he's going to win over a fan base at Castle Coliseum that hopefully most of the Castle's filled today for the presser, and then hopefully it's packed for the men's game tonight against Bryant.
You think they'll run him out there Saturday? A lot of people have that. You think would that take away from Philip Montgomery, you think, or would it be a great opportunity to have him out there at halftime to wave around? I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying
halftime. The problem is if that game's a blowout, does he want to see the student section leaving en masse?
Yeah. We'll see.
Maybe the shirtless bros will stay around for him.
Oh, I'm sure they would. They probably have Franklin faces on their chest or something like that. Yeah.
Oh boy! Hopefully they're not putting one of the CFP national championship trophies on there, and with the 26 under it, and then having the X through it every year.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like that AT&T commercial with the Florida fan.
Yeah. You're right. Well, all right, my friend. Enjoy the day, and we look forward to watching your stuff. To follow Damien and subscribe online and read all his stuff in the aftermath of the press conference today, and we'll see what we learn about staff and finances and things like that. So
hopefully we'll find out about the term sheet, which, again, I'm estimating between $10 to $12 million a year, and we know the $9 million lump sum buyout from Penn State is going to be paid out over time. So we don't know if that's going to offset any of what Virginia Tech's owed, or if that's just going straight to Jimmy Sexton, who takes his cut and then sends the rest to Franklin.
Yeah, you're right. Well, we know Jimmy will be there today. All smiles. So.
Yeah, unless he's currently doing some. Ole Miss is on open week, so who knows if he's in Oxford?
Well, that's true too. He's got a lot going on down there.
Like he might be making some trips to Gainesville and Baton Rouge, trying to see what he can get for Lane.
Yeah, it's a bizarre situation. We'll see what happens this weekend. It's going to be interesting. But Tech fan, you don't have to worry about it anymore. You're done.
Nope. After 20 interviews, according to Bruce Arians.
Yeah, that was interesting. I wonder if interviews means maybe just phone calls and conversations.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they sat down and had 20.
The topic of that was the analytics book that they brought up on the McAfee show, and he was asking, I think it was the no BS deal, and he was like, yeah, he brought in 20 coaches, and he said only one of them carried the book with him during games. Everyone else was like, someone else has it. And fills us in when needed. And Arians was like, it's important to have that, but it's also important to have a coach who knows with his gut, oh yeah, I gotta go for it here, or let me take the points here and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So that was the context of him bringing that up.
Okay.
So, it'll be interesting to see Arians if he's there. Bud today.
There's no doubt.
Wonder if Eddie Royal's even going to be there.
I bet he
is part of this.
I bet he is. He'll be there.
But considering Bud was on the flight Friday night, I have a feeling he's going to be. He'll be there and probably well liquored for a job well done. They're probably going to keep him
well liquored. Well, it's facts.
He's going to be hydrated for all the work he's
done. He's going to be, cheers. We got it done. It was good. That was good. All right, my friend. Enjoy the rest of the week. Looking forward to your stuff, and we'll reconvene next week. See how Tech did against Miami and so forth, and what the staff and recruiting may look like in a week. You never know.
Exactly. All right.
All right, brother. Take care. Rick. Good stuff, Damien Sordelett. Well liquored. That's a good line. David Teel is going to come up here at about 7:40. And we'll get his take on all this. He's got a terrific piece out. We'll let him talk about it and what he thinks and how immediate this can be. It feels like I said it can happen pretty soon for James Franklin here at Virginia Tech, given the climate of the ACC. It really does. Got a good text message here about the whole playoff committee. It says, hey, on the professional door text line, the committee chair is telling you up front that it doesn't matter. It's so far down on their list when ranking. In other words, head to head. Miami beating Notre Dame doesn't matter. Notre Dame lost to 2 ranked teams. Guess what? One of them was Miami. Notre Dame doesn't play in a conference championship. What a joke. Well, this goes into what we've always said about Notre Dame and their perception, right? They're stronger and bigger than the system. I've said this all along. And when you see the rankings like they are, when you get that put that far ahead over a team that beats you, that's Notre Dame being Notre Dame. It's not right. The committee has other self-interest, but that's a very, very good text that I think. Yeah, they lost to 2 ranked teams, but one was Miami. So we'll see. But that's where it is. All right, I mentioned I'm going to have to get another beverage here because, like I said, not working on much sleep. What can I give you here to entertain you? I know. Tell you what, I'll be right back. I guess got to run up and get it. There you go. You can look at Selma until I get back. Just picture, maybe Selma shows up today at the press conference. You never know. I'll be right back. I got to rehydrate. I'm not having, the liquored up version, or at least so you know. All right, we made it back. Hope we didn't lose too much of the audience. Probably not, because, hey, you're looking at Selma. That's From Dusk Till Dawn, by the way, right before she turned into a vampire. I mean, I would still I would still date Selma the Vampire. Although she looked pretty vicious, though. She looked pretty vicious. But anyway, where were we? Thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. Family Fencing Studios here, brought to you by Family Fencing. Give them a call, 540-200-8294. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hundley. Go see them. There's Family Fencing's digits down below. Professional Dough Incorporated, they sponsor our text line, 540-391-0788, 38 years in business. They need employees, $20 a month. Walk in and talk to Travis. Just walk in. We're presented every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Thanks to Jonathan Sweet and Tim Miller. Thanks, Jonathan, for joining us this week. Great stuff. Little River Heating and Air, Charles Lee, 1095 Radford Street, 540-553-2971. Absolute best in the business. We're getting a lot of, a whole lot. I bet we've gotten 4 or 5 dozen already. Record predictions on the Ryan Pry 701 West Main Street in Radford, the attorney. This is BDST fan question of the week. Larry Ramsey, member FDIC. Exclusive banking partner, BDST. And thanks to Bob Christ and everybody at the Ready Set Fund, ReadySetFund.com. Check out their website. Reach out to Bob. By the way, if you want a shirt, T-shirts are $20 each. If shipped, $28. Send me a text on the text line. Brought to you by Professional Drawer, 391-0788. Or hit me up, DM me, Rick Watson or Big Dog Sports Talk, and I'll get it either way there if you want a shirt. $28 if mailed, by the way. I am a vampire after last night. Struggling. Is what we're going to say. Struggling this morning. But hey, I'm here. And I apologize if I'm just, hey, how's everybody doing? I don't know why I came across as drunk right there. But, sometimes when you're tired, you kind of feel that way. Thanks to Kion Brown, Damien Sordelett, David Teel going to join us here in just a little bit. Todd Grantham tomorrow, and he'll talk about the process. He's got a lot of insight as to what went on. I laid down at 2:30 a.m. TP. And then, even though you're tired, if you've been in the car a while and you've been on the move all day, I don't know about you, you can't go right to sleep, So I don't know. I'd say probably an hour, half hour, 45 minutes of decent sleep. So I'm going to go back and lay down and then go in after lunch today, Rad. Tebow, good morning. He says, I'm not drinking the UVA Kool-Aid. I believe this year will be short-lived. Portal Guys has its risk. It does. It does. It really does. I'm not sold on this year's team, right? Tebow? I don't want to – they've had a great year, and, he's going to get an extension now, but they're not like a slam dunk. I appreciate them winning close games and what they've done. I reverted to Otis Campbell. TP says when he gets horizontal, he's out. I get that. Colonial Life Arena is gorgeous. Jen came up after the game and said, hey, Neil, that was good. Not a great crowd there last night. That program's, they need a big year for Lamont Paris. They're 4-0 now. And Radford's got to figure it out. That's what Zach Chu said, the head coach. They got to figure this thing out. They got a big home game on Friday against UNC Wilmington. It's big. Because when you start dropping home games, if you do, that's when the concern becomes emergency status. But we're meandering through this morning. By the way, go get your next vehicle at Harvey's GM. Thanks to James Lawson, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg, by the way. Give them a call, 540-381-8011. They have plumbing supplies, installation, windows, and the NRV Super Bowl. By the way, we want to salute. I got to reach out to Ronnie Horton. I haven't done that yet. It's my fault, Ronnie. I understand Ronnie does a really good Dwight Yoakam dance impersonation. TP, have you ever seen that? Our Bowlers of the Month, Scotch doubles champs. That just sounds cool. And I think one of my new goals in life is to be a Scotch doubles champ at the NRV Super Bowl. Hey, man, what have you done recently? Just kind of kick back in your chair. Look up there on the board. And they go, oh, you're the Scotch doubles champ. And then you just kind of, yep, as you dip another nacho into the cheese. Jacob Ratcliffe and Mike Phillips. Congratulations, Jacob and Mike. Companies, you can sign up now for holiday parties. Give them a call, 540-382-5525. They're going to have late night boogie bowling Friday and Saturday nights. Maybe that's what we should do for our BDST show meeting. We should just rent out the whole damn bowling alley and just have a big bowling party. Well, I'm going to ask when we get Ronnie on here, he's the pro there. I'm going to ask him to do his Dwight Yoakam dance. I think he owes it to us now. Yeah, you're right, Tebow. That's correct. He's here now. He's not arriving today. He's not just going to fly into the presser. No, it's too early. He's here. Yeah, correct. That is accurate. Like, yeah. Morris, I got your text. I'll see. I haven't had. I gotta get some sleep before I look at the ticket thing. And I promise you, Morris, if I don't get it out today, your shirts, I will do it tomorrow. I think that was 2X and large. I haven't pulled. Just if you haven't sent your address, send me your address. And Ronnie would dance back in Dixie Youth Baseball League. Oh, he can do Michael Jackson? Really? Oh, well. Maybe we can get him to do the Dwight Yoakam dance while he's doing Michael Jackson. Ronnie, we're already setting up your performance. Thank you, Morris. Thank you, Morris. I may get it out later today, Morris. I just gotta, as soon as I hit end stream today, I'm hitting the sack. Bowling and roller skating. Oh, did they, Hokey Rocks? They sent out a thing saying he's flying in at 8. Really? That's not what I heard either. Okay, that's wild. That's wild. Well, I don't know about all that. Either way, he'll be there today at 10, and that's all that matters. All right, joining us now, someone who also understands what it's like to not get any sleep. It is David Teel, who's traveled all over this great land of ours. David, how are you, brother? Good morning.
Good morning, Rick.
How are you, man?
A little sleep deprived.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we got in at 2:30 last night from Columbia, so yeah. But we're here. We're gamers. You know, we're veterans, but we're gamers. We show up.
There you go.
Hey, well, let's get into it. I know you've already written a great piece about it, but home run, kudos all around Virginia Tech for getting their guy, James Franklin.
Well, I think kudos to Virginia Tech, Rick, for literally pivoting on a dime. Because when the Hokies released Brent Pry on September 14th, Penn State is undefeated, ranked number 2 in the country. And any notion of James Franklin being on the market was absolutely preposterous.
It's a great point.
So for the first month of this search, it proceeded looking at, and this is no offense to other candidates, to the standard fare of what you would think. We all put together our lists, and they were probably incomplete and maybe wildly inaccurate.
Yeah.
But nobody even pondered James Franklin. And then 3 consecutive Penn State losses later, and nearly a month to the day, Penn State cuts James Franklin loose. A guy who in 11 plus seasons would have gone to 7 college football playoffs at Penn State and did miraculous work at Vanderbilt. And the Hokies saw a chance and they took a big swing and they ended up getting their guy.
Well, and on the surface, I mean, we've got nothing. People across the country are praising it. Fans here, I mean, everybody's so excited. And we know the recruiting success that he's had in this region and all these things. I mean, it all just fits so perfectly. I think Brent Pry was big in this. It feels like regardless of what other jobs he may have been interested in, the bottom line is he's here now and he's going to hit the ground running. What kind of things we know you've been to so many of these press conferences, you know that a certain type of thing's going to happen, but what kind of things are you more curious to learn about, David? As I know you're thinking about this probably from a little different perspective than most people.
Well, first and foremost, Rick, the press conference is going to be a pep rally.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're not going to learn anything there.
Yeah, correct.
And I'm not sure we'll learn much at all today. Maybe we'll have some aside time with Coach Franklin. I don't even know.
Hope so.
But and maybe some enlightenment from some Virginia Tech officials, from Whit Babcock and others. We'll just have to play that by ear. But what is far more important than today or anything that is said is what is subsequently done and who comes on his staff.
Right.
And how quickly can they pivot to this high school recruiting class? National Signing Day is early this year, just a few weeks away. There's only one portal window as opposed to 2. And I am almost 100% certain that within 24 hours, James Franklin will have a war room set up, probably in Lane Stadium, maybe not because they have the game this weekend, so maybe in the Merriman Center, where he and his trusted folks are going to be trying to figure some things out. And oh, by the way, he can go to practice and he can evaluate his team and say, right, okay, here's who I think can play. Here's where I think our strengths and weaknesses are from a roster standpoint.
Right.
Starting caliber talent, depth, et cetera. So far more important things than today.
Yeah, you're right. The whole process has led to what's going to become, and it's going to be very intriguing to follow it and see. People wanted me to ask you, in your opinion on it, do you think Brent Pry has a future on this staff whatsoever?
It's a fascinating question. It would seem very awkward for Brett, but maybe not. Would it seem awkward for Virginia Tech? Former basketball coach James Johnson is on the football staff here.
That's right.
But a few years had passed between James Johnson's dismissal as basketball coach and then Brent Pry bringing him on the football staff. So that's a little different. And James Johnson is very much in a background position in the football office. Brent Pry, if he came as a defensive coordinator, would be very much a continued face in the program. That would be it would be unprecedented. That's for sure. What I'm interested to find out, I don't know that we'll ever know exactly, what kind of conversations did Brent Pry and James Franklin have?
I know.
As James Franklin contemplated the shot. Clearly, Brent Pry did not nuke the place.
That's right.
Or I don't think we'd be here.
That's a great point. Great point. And people in the text on me asked, apparently you were down at the ODU Troy game, correct?
I was.
And you got a chance to kind of run into James Franklin a little bit. Did you get a vibe when I know he didn't answer your question, but did you get any kind of vibe from him that night? People wanting to know, did you kind of have a feel then that this might be what happened this week?
Oh, I did not run into him. I ambushed him. Let's be clear, because
clarify.
Yeah, when Mark Davis, my friend at WTKR television, tweeted out a picture of James Franklin on the sidelines, I carried my scrawny butt downstairs from the press box and said, I need to chat this guy up. And he couldn't have been more gracious. He smiled, put his hand out. We had a very firm handshake. I introduced myself, told him, look, I know you're here on the Old Dominion sideline and Ricky Ronnie's your guy, but I got to do my job. And he said, no, I get it, but I can't say anything. I said, and that's fine. And he made it quite clear that he was not interested in further discussion. And I thanked him for being so understanding, and we both went on our way.
There you go.
But he certainly did not dissuade me from the notion that he and Virginia Tech were in discussions.
That's great. That's a great story. I like that. The Teel ambush of James Franklin.
It'll be interesting to see if he recognizes the face when we meet him.
I hope he says that. He goes, wait a minute, there's David Teel. He attacked me down at ODU last week.
So he may have security come frog march me out of the news conference. I have no idea how we're going to handle this.
Sexton's hired a couple of the big guys to haul you out. Sir, you have to come with us right now.
Maybe.
It feels like this can, if we assume the staff's going to be strong, and you know what kind of recruiter he has been, especially throughout this region, the DMV and everything, feels like Tech can maybe make some huge strides next year, given the way the ACC structure doesn't. I mean, this may not be a long process. This could happen pretty quickly.
It can't be, right? Not in this era.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get this roster up to speed with DMV high school prospects.
Correct.
You're going to have to hit the portal.
Yes.
And he's also, I would imagine, that a lot of Penn State commits who have since reopened their commitment after James Franklin's dismissal up there will come along with it. And that will be interesting to watch. But this roster needs upgrades across the board, and it needs game-ready talent, not incoming freshmen. And that's going to be the charge. But you're right about the state of the ACC. And, you know, we've mentioned it before. You look around the landscape at teams who have flipped it on a dime. Look at what Jake Dickert has done at Wake Forest. Dude, they're 7-3, and they arguably should be 8-2 if the official throws the hanky on the offside against Georgia Tech.
Right.
So Wake can then kneel it out. And they have Delaware coming up and Duke. Those are two winnable games. Jake Dickert could go, he's going to go 8-4 probably at worst, and 9-3 or 9-3 in his first season at Wake Forest.
Amazing.
Now, Arizona State flipped it from like a 2 or 3 win program to a college football playoff and was a fourth down Quinn Ewers touchdown pass away from knocking Texas out of the playoff in the Peach Bowl. Indiana, Kurt Signetti, you know, that's the example that everyone most frequently points to. But there are others, and yes, Brent Pry. James Franklin needs to have this program in contention within 2 years, and I'll be surprised if he does not.
Yeah. That's a terrific point you make. You don't have that time. Like it's going to have to happen in 2 years. All of a sudden, all these people that are celebrating and can't wait to donate are going to be just back where they were, right? Hey, did we get the wrong guy? Right? That's just the way it works.
And let's be clear, Rick. There are no sure things in coaching hires.
No.
James Franklin won at Vanderbilt. He won at Penn State. Does that ratchet up the odds that he will win at Virginia Tech? Heck yeah. Does that guarantee he's going to win at Virginia Tech? Heck no.
No.
Scott Frost was undefeated at Central Florida. He went home to Nebraska. It was the absolute logical, correct hire. And he was a bust. And, you know, how's Luke Fickell working out at Wisconsin? He was the ideal hire there. And then Hugh Freeze. You know, he had won at Ole Miss.
Yep.
He had won at Liberty. He's going back to the SEC. You know, he beat Nick Saban in consecutive years when he was Ole Miss. And what happens? They kick him to the curb. So no sure things.
Jimbo Fisher. I remember hearing that, going to Texas A&M. That was going to be, oh, my goodness, watch out, you know.
Yeah. He won a national championship at Florida State.
Right.
And now was he a bust at Texas A&M? No, he won a bunch of games now, but he didn't get he didn't get Texas A&M to where Texas A&M wanted to be, given the investment level in the program.
Well, we will follow all that today. I got to ask you about your alma mater. Bob Chesney's a scorching hot name in this search. It's showing up even more now. Is there really, to your knowledge, I mean, is there legitimate UCLA Chesney thing? I just don't. What would that connection be? Is it because Martin Germain was at BC? What would that connection be for him? For UCLA, they should dance around. If that were to happen, they wouldn't understand because they're not serious about football. But if they got Bob Chesney, it'd be huge for them. Do you think there's some legitimacy to that connection in specifically? Because we know he's going to get a Power 4 job.
Rick, if anybody should be sourced up at UCLA, it's Rick Neuheisel.
Yeah.
I mean, his son is the offensive coordinator.
That's right.
Rick played at UCLA. He coached at UCLA. And he went on CBS on Saturday and said that he's hearing Bob Chesney to UCLA. Heck, I'm not going to sit here and dispute that. That man ought to be incredibly connected. Now, was he just creating content for CBS and the interwebs? It beats the heck out of me. But I have to think there is something there. Now, if I'm Bob Chesney, do I look for something better? Heck yeah. I mean, I've been to Westwood many times.
Yes.
Beautiful campus. Idyllic.
Beautiful.
But it's a terrible job.
It is.
It is an awful job. And they're at the point now where the Rose Bowl, their home stadium, is suing them because they want to get out of the lease and they want to take their home games to SoFi. It's a complete mess. The fan base is completely disinterested. They don't show up. He's got a great situation in Harrisonburg where the fan base is completely invested. Now, Big Ten money, Sun Belt money, hey, I get it, but he can do better.
Yes, I agree. And that's what I think will happen. Because for 40 years, they've allowed a couple neighborhoods to prevent them from building an on-campus stadium at UCLA, which they could. You've been there. You know, they have that place right beside the practice field. I've been there a lot. I mean, they had plenty of, but they won't allow that because of the people in the Brentwood area. They have so much influence, right? And they just immediately, administration goes, okay, whatever. We'll make our students travel 20, I don't know how long it is. It's a long time to go from campus to Pasadena.
Yeah.
It's insane, but we'll see what happens with Bob Chesney. But that was always my choice for Tech, but they got their guy, and you tip your hat to them, and we'll see. I have to ask you real quick before I let you go, David. Miami, the new playoff came out while we were traveling yesterday. They beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame's 8. Your thoughts on how all this stuff is structured, and what do you think is going to eventually happen with the ACC? The champion, like you said, it may not be a shoe-in for them. Is that going to be it? Do you think just bottom line for them to get into the postseason?
Well, the champion is going to get in now. The Duke has essentially been
out,
from the conference race, courtesy of Virginia. Miami's sitting there on the fringe, on the bubble of at-large consideration. Obviously has to win out, which is certainly not a given, especially with that. They got to come here and then they got to go to Pitt. See how that plays out. Georgia Tech could get in the at-large consideration if the Jackets beat the Dogs in clean old-fashioned hate Black Friday. That would make things very interesting.
It would.
I'm really surprised, Rick. I thought Tulane would be the highest-ranked Group of 5 team last night, and it was. But for James Madison to be unranked,
I know.
That part of it, I don't get. They are beating the doors off pretty much everybody they play. And I assure you, if Bob Chesney and James Madison in either of the next 2 weeks have the chance to run it up on Washington State and or Coastal Carolina, they are going to take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Not out of any disrespect.
No.
But to send a message to the folks in Grapevine, Texas, and say, yo, Pay attention.
You're not watching? Right.
Yeah.
I don't get it either. And that's just going to make him flee even more, make him want to flee. He's got to look around his situation and go, wow. I mean, he can take that somewhere else where it'll be appreciated by these people. It's crazy to me. It really is. But we will see what happens. So you'll be there today. And what's the timing on your pieces coming out? People always ask, when can we go online and get David's next article? I guess it'll be a pretty quick turnaround for you today.
Yeah, today I'll be writing about the press conference. Got something else dropping today that I really can't share. More along some breaking news that you'll understand, and some of your listeners will as well. It's not regarding Virginia Tech, but then working on some things about James Madison this week, and then I'll be back out here on Saturday for noon kick.
All right. Well, listen, man, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate you so much. Great info, great insight as always, David. We appreciate you, man, and look forward to our conversation next week. Get some rest, my friend.
All right, Rick. Be well. You too.
All right. Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, great stuff from David Teel. So check him out. There you go. He'll have it up very quickly, and then his other piece coming out as well. So be sure to check it out. Follow David because he's the best. He's the best. Hit us up on the McClellan Chiropractic chat and on the text line. All right, so Paul, let me find it here, Paul. Sorry, I hit the wrong button again. So there is an airport arrival today. They're calling it an airport arrival. This is posted on the tech site. So this is correct. It's now. Paul, are you there? It's at 8 a.m. Virginia Tech Airport. I wonder if they flew him down. I wonder if he drove down to Roanoke and they flew him in. Sometimes that happens. That's happened a lot. I wonder if he had been here. Two things can be true at the same time. I'm not saying it is. It's just a theory. You could have flown him from Roanoke back into Blacksburg just for that, right? To set up that whole thing. Could be. Could be. Let me know if anybody's there. Let me know the kind of crowd that's there for James Franklin. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Who introduces Franklin today? President. It's going to be the president or Witt. Yeah. I don't know which one, Paul. Maybe it'll be Jimmy Sexton. Maybe Jimmy will just get up there. Hey, give me the microphone. Be like the drunk guy at the wedding. Hey, I got all this. The guy who's doing the drunk toast. Sorry, I had to have beverage there. Maybe that's what it is. Yes, he is, TLB. David Teel's the absolute best. And he didn't get much sleep last night either. Oh, well, Wayne takes care of it. He says, I put him up in my house in Roanoke. The copter picked him up and took him to Roanoke Airport for the Jetstream arrival. I can't remember what coach it was. It's not been too long ago they did something like that. He was in town and they drove him and then he flew in to have the big spectacle. So there you go. So that's what I'm guessing happened. That's what I'm guessing happened. It's marketing, man. They've already started marketing. Hell, they started selling stuff in the shop, an hour after the announcement. How many of you have sit and chat today and said you've already gotten pledges with Franklin's picture on it? It's all about marketing. So I believe that could have happened. We shall see. Thanks, everybody, for putting up with me, by the way. I am down and out, man. It was a long trip. Hour and a half of sleep. So I'm battling. So I'm going to hit the sack right after this and then get in after lunch at RU. Yeah. So thanks for putting up with me. Morris says, I think John Rokovich should introduce. That's not a bad take, Morris. High energy guy. Wayne says, Brent Pry flew in on the copter to the Salem game to recruit the Twins. Oh, that's true. He did. I thought you were going to say Brent Pry's going to. I'm getting a little giggly now because of the sleepiness. I thought you were going to say that Bry's going to fly him in from Roanoke Airport. That's kind of what I thought. It'll be a good day for Tech Fan. There'll be a lot of video. It'll be shared. The thing about it too, it's going to be a national thing. You know, he'll show up everywhere, so that's good stuff. People will enjoy that. David's correct, as he usually is, right? There won't be a whole lot today of, you know, actual information potentially. There might be some people there, right? Otis Watson. This is going to be random, but does anybody ever watch the show Parks and Rec? Love Parks and Rec. May have been the last new show I actually watched. Remember Parks and Rec? Ron Swanson. Great show. That's where I developed my Aubrey Plaza crush, was through Parks and Rec. Chris Pratt was on there. Great show. They had an episode where they, oh man, now I can't remember the cast name, but you know what I'm talking about. You Parks and Rec's in syndication. You've seen it. It's a great show. Parks and Rec cast. What's the character's name? I want to make sure I get the name right. Yeah, Amy Poehler was there. Anyway, they had a thing called snake juice. Tom Halverford. Yeah, Tom. He was the Indian employee there. And they had a thing called snake juice, and they all drank it one night at this local establishment. At the very end, the end thing was just all of them and how drunk they were, the different types of drunk. And I kind of feel like I might be a combination of 3 or 4 of those right now. Yeah, it's going to be streamed. I know it's going to be through the Tech. It'll be on the Tech Hokie Sports site. I know that. Yeah. Yeah, you can find it online, Rodney. Thank you, TP. It's a struggle. All I know is Neil driving his brand new New York Giants blue Chrysler 300. I mean, he's sitting there just, oh, yeah. He's not feeling it. He's in his car, man. He is in his car. Hey, there you go. Thank you, Thunder. We got like a smattering of people there to meet the coach at the airport. Looked like a crowd of about a couple, 3 dozen, something like that. But anyway, you should look that up on YouTube, the snake juice at the end when they're all drunk. It's good stuff. Morris says, thanks, Rick, being a recent jet lagger myself when my wife speaking in tongues or drunk. Know how you feel. It's called, Virginia Athletics on YouTube. So, yeah, there you go, Rodney. The peeps know. The peeps know. So, Hokie Rock says it's already up on YouTube. The page is ready for people to access. So, that's smart, too, so people can have easy access. So, there you go. Smartest and best. I used to call you the best listening audience in radio. You're now the best viewing audience on YouTube. Please subscribe, like, and share our channel. We're trudging our way toward 1,000, and then we'll have a celebration, much like Tech Fan has had over the hiring of James Franklin. We'll have one ourselves. No, there was no Natalie Imbruglia on the home. We did have, he's got Sirius Satellite in there, though, so don't you think for a second we didn't just leave it on the 80s channel. much to the shock and dismay of the younger sports information people who were in the back seat. Then we broke out the classic country songs toward the last leg, Neil and I singing at the top of our lungs. David says best one was when Ron pulled his tooth. Yeah, and Tom passed out. Yeah. If you haven't seen Parks and Rec, brilliant show. Brilliant show. And that character, Ron Swanson, yeah, that's my guy. We share a lot of the same personality traits about food. Rick Allen was back, baby. Yeah, the old DJ spinning the tunes here on Q102. Country Afternoons on Q102. Call us up on the hotline. Yeah, that was a big thing, man. Every afternoon. And, I don't know what it is, but when you're on the radio, you have to kind of have a little bit of a notch to your voice. It immediately changes like this. I don't really understand why, but we call these guys pukers. Pukers. Tebow says, my money is you don't wake up till tomorrow at noon. Noon at work doesn't happen. I'm not going to counter you on that bet. I would lose money. We'll see. All right. Yeah. Hey, Jimmy. Yeah, remind me on Friday's show. What are you, an extra large? Yeah, I'll bring your shirt. I'll have your shirt there. Yeah, Jen looked great. She took a picture. I'll get it uploaded for everybody to see. A large. Okay, Jen. Yeah, remind me, though, please, because right now, anything that happens now won't happen. Just like Tebow said. Remind me Friday, please. Just remind me. Thank you. I won't mean to forget. Andy Bitter joins us tomorrow. Yeah, a lot going on tomorrow. Dwight Vick, talk about all this. Be after the pressure. It's perfect timing. Whom else? Whom else? Todd Grantham. Wow. Seems like there's somebody else tomorrow. It'll come to me after I get some slumber. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what it is about Radio Puker guy. Never understood why they figure they have to do that. Let's go up to Marty, who's flying the copter right now, the BDST weather copter. Marty, what you got for us up there? Just talk. Yeah, well, Ron, yeah, he's at some place and he gets some steak. And he goes, son, how can you get away with calling this a steak? Take it away. And he goes, just give me all the bacon and eggs you have. And the guy kind of nods. He goes, wait a minute, wait. I fear you don't hear me or don't understand. I don't want a lot of bacon and eggs. I want all the bacon and eggs that you have. Hey, Tebow graduated with Jen. Really? That's awesome. Nothing wrong with that, Tebow. No, I won't be watching the presser at 10. People are right. I'll check it out. To be online, it's there forever, right? Once it's on the interweb, it never goes away. Yeah, I'll watch it later. I've been to a lot of pressers. I've had to arrange some pressers with media. I know how this goes. I know what it's going to be today. So yeah, but hey, a great celebration. Teel said it right. It's a pep rally today. It's a pep rally today, and we'll start to get some clarity. But to his point, enjoy it, have some fun. By the way, I'm getting some sites copying our BDST Ryan Pry fan question of the week. Somebody said they just sent it to me. What is it? VT Scoop saying, hey, what do you think? How many games James Franklin going to win? Hey. That's fine. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. things in my life that I choose to bother me, and then things that I don't care about. And that's the kind of thing I don't care about. That doesn't bother me. There's no guarantees about any of this. People have asked me what I thought. I'll stay with it. I mentioned October 20th. I thought James Franklin would be the hire. There was some early heat. He kept him at arm's length for a reason. Because he wanted other jobs. He was checking out other jobs. It is what it is. What other people want to believe is fine, but, Big Ten guy has been on this from day one. He loves it, by the way, when I call him Big Ten guy. Because he watches. And I was getting info on this whole thing from a guy whose football coach is a key Sexton client. So I know what was going on. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, and we'll talk to Todd Grantham about it tomorrow, how this whole thing played out. He can talk about it a lot more freely now. But it doesn't matter the process. It's the end result. And Tech got their guy. I hope it works out to everybody's expectation. I really do. But it doesn't change me. Let's say they would have swung and missed at Franklin. I think Bob Chesney and Matt Roan would be the duo that I would take in Blacksburg. Now, a lot of people are not going to think about that now because you got your guy. And he's going to do wonders turning over this roster immediately. But how does the winning follow? We'll see. We'll see. I remember a very young sophomore, Todd Grantham, being teased by the teacher. I bet that ended when he became a junior and he became really big. Todd Grantham, my Lord, you talk about the strongest dude. I mean, I got to give Todd hell, by the way. Remind me to give Todd hell about the sock hops. Because I was all cool and stylish because as a sophomore, I made traveling team. Rodney Landers, former great quarterback. There was only like 5 or 6 of us that made it every year. So you're at the sock hop representing. And the sock hop came after the football games where, after they picked up the pieces of the bodies of the opponent that we just beat by 4 or 5 touchdowns. Because you didn't come into the Cougar Den and walk out with a victory. You weren't going to win. Sorry. Todd would never come off the field. Todd played offensive tackle, played defensive tackle, was on special teams. He did it all. That's why he was an all-state performer and went to Virginia Tech. And then afterwards, and I'm guessing it's probably his current wife because I think they met at Pulaski County, but he'd be at the sock hop and he'd be absolutely exhausted. You'd see him in the shower and he'd just be kind of almost asleep on his feet while the water, you'd be like, man, that dude. And then he would go and he would go to the sock hop and just sit there and kind of sway back and forth with the music. Yeah, TP. Nobody was scoring on Joel Hicks, especially there at Kenneth J. Dobson Stadium. There were some games we would break through and have a lot, but you just didn't score. Just didn't score. Because the weight program that Coach Hicks brought here was unprecedented. He brought the West Virginia weight program. He was on the staff at West Virginia with Nick Saban and many other prominent coaches. And he brought every bit of that to Dublin. And we were so far ahead of the curve, programs would come up, coaches, and watch what was implemented, learn about the equipment. It was one of the big things he got done with Dan Callahan, God rest his soul. Coach Hicks, you and Dan got to be up there just having great stories together. Miss you both so much. Wow. But we were bigger, we were stronger, and we took a lot of pride in it. And everybody's doing it. They've caught up many years ago. But at that time, you did not. And you already had a bunch of corn-fed country boys out there, just like at Giles. What did Marty? That's what Marty says, right? Corn-fed country boys coming out of the horse fields, cow fields. You're not going to beat them in the trenches very often. And Todd was just unbelievably strong. But he would get through the sock hop. Sleep on his feet. All right, NRB, thanks for the pick. That's cool. NRB Thunder sent a picture of the crowd. He says the crowd has grown at the executive airport. AI had to get to work, so didn't get the size of the crowd that arrived. Oh, I had to get to work. Okay. Not AI. I had to get to work. That's great stuff, man. We're getting some great info from Paul and from Thunder today. It's great. Because I need to get updated. I was, like I said, we were on the road all day, and then you're at the arena, and then the game, and and all that. Yeah, he turned into a massive. He did, yeah. Todd got. Yeah, he did. You can go. I wonder if I can find it. This picture. You're right. That's a great point. Talk about weight programs. Mike Gentry, or was that before Gentry? That was before Coach Gentry. Wasn't Mike Gentry. Who? Wow. All right, Tech fan. Who was the strength coach before Mike Gentry? I don't know the answer. I'm asking you. Somebody said he got huge when he was at Virginia Tech, like big in all the right ways. Trying to find a picture of him. There's like dozens and dozens and dozens of pictures of him. Well, here's a picture of him. Yeah, right there's a picture of him. Can you see that right here? Yeah, maybe not. That's him in his Tech uni there when he was at Florida beside it. But yeah. Anyway, he was. David, what's up, man? David Mabry. Good morning. I had the privilege of attending a West Virginia game with the Callahan brothers. All Dan and Tony. Is Tony still with us, by the way? Riding to Morgantown in a van. TP, is Tony still around? I don't mean that disrespectfully. I hope he is. I love Tony, too. The food, alcohol, and cigar. No, they didn't drink. No, David. I just loved it. There were years that Dan and I did the games together. He was there. Okay. Thanks, TP. Thank you. And wherever we traveled, there were a lot of years Dan would call me, and we started the whole Fourth and Goal show. He did the play-by-play for a long time, and then he would not want to do that anymore. And he liked working with me, and he'd say, hey, you want to come do and I'll just be on there as an analyst. Sometimes I'll be on the sideline and walk up. Yeah, that'd be great. No full-time strength and conditioning coaches prior to Gentry. Okay, when was he hired? When was Mike hired? I'm letting you do all the research, guys, because, if I tried to punch in buttons right now, it wouldn't work. But Dan knew all the food spots, man. All right, so Todd graduated Pulaski in 84. He would have still been there. Yeah, he would have still been there. So there you go. Hell, I'll just ask him tomorrow. I'm acting like this is going to be tough information. I'll just ask him tomorrow. Tony did call you a couple years ago. Okay, great. I hope not. I hope he's still here. But Dan knew all the great food. If you traveled with him. But we'd do the games, and it was so much fun. He would just he just made it in. Man, I miss that guy. But Dan was why Coach Hicks got here. Yeah. And Dan was the last influence Dan had was Mark Dixon coming to Dublin. And that was a big move, and that should have worked out. And now we see what's going on now. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, good show tomorrow, good show today, and thanks to everybody. Let me know if you want a shirt. And we're getting ready to thank all the sponsors again, too. But if you want a BDST shirt, $20, if I can get it to you here. $28. That should cover at least 2, maybe 3 in a package. I don't know yet. It might be an extra $1 or 2 because of weight. They're awesome. People have loved them. I appreciate people who have had them and worn them. They're really liking them. I think they're made wonderfully. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf. Ready, Set, Fund. ReadySetFund.com. Thanks to Bob Christ. If you're trying to raise money, that's where you need to go. They are the best in the world. No, I didn't take any melatonin because I know I need the collapse. So there's nothing on me or in me right now except for Diet Pepsi. Yep. Travis Williams, Professional Door Incorporated, residential commercial garage doors, owned and operated 38 years. Go talk to them about employment in your career. He wants you to walk in. He wants you to work for him. Thanks to National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner, BDST. I've been with them 35 years. They're the absolute best in the business. We're presented each and every day by Pulaski County Sports Entertainment. Thanks so much to Tim Miller and, of course, the head of the snake, Jonathan Sweet. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. And Ryan Price, 701 West Main Street. The attorney, trust and estate planning is his specialty. And we had it first. How many wins? What's Tech's record going to be? Everybody else, meh. Family Fencing sponsoring our studio. Thanks a lot to Jason Green and the crew, 540-200-8294, familyfencingnrb.com. You're the best. They're going to work through the winter. I think I'm going to hire them in the spring. No doubt. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hundley, over in Christiansburg, Ralph Peppersbury Road. Go see him. He'll fix you up. Get a little bit older. You need a good chiropractor, and he is the best, man. Unbelievable. Thanks to James Lawson, Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. They've been the place to go for manufactured home parts since 1997, 381-8011, NRB Super Bowl. We thank them. Late night boogie bowling's coming. Call them, 540-382-5525. Let's all do a big BDST bowling party. We'll just go take over the NRB Super Bowl. Beverages on you. No, I'm just kidding. Harvey's GM in Radford. Brad Harvey's, speaking of the best in the business, if you need a new car, I bought my last 3 there. Guess where I'm going again when I need one? Raise your hand. I'm going to go see Brad Harvey. Great service department. Michelle and Neil. Those people, man. Great people. Mr. Ritter. All the sales folks. Thanks, Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce. Thanks to Top Shelf Apparel, Pulaski for the shirts. No doubt about it, Real Dino Kid. I think what it's going to end up being for Franklin, too, if he didn't know it at the time, he's going to realize this is the best landing spot for him. Yeah. We know from Tech they got their guy. I want him to understand this is the best spot. And that's what he'll talk about today. All this other stuff won't be talked about. You know, I hope he doesn't go there and say this was the only place for me, because people in the industry know that's not true. But it is a press conference. So it won't be one of those deals where there'll be any kind of, stuff that's going to counter that. Today will be a feel-good day. Everybody will celebrate, and it'll show up everywhere. That's what's great. It'll show up everywhere. Like I said, Tech's going to get a lot more out of this than just potentially a program that's going to be an ACC contender immediately. They're going to get so much immediate input from donors, from national attention, marketing. It's going to absolutely explode. Absolutely. But thanks again to Kion today. Damien Sordelett, really good. David Teel's always good. So you'll have the presser today. Basketball tonight, right, against Bryant. Again, Mike Young scheduled a certain way for a reason. It's not a knock. It's just a fact. Be another, probably a very easy. Let's see the spread. Got to be an easy win. What do we have spread-wise today? I'm going to guess. I don't even know. Let's see what we've got. At least 22 points. I was close. 25.5-point favorites against Bryant. Bryant is 1-3. Bryant. Paul won't let me leave early, T-Po. He's yelling at me. TOB says show was still cutting edge, Rick. Now turn on ESPN to make sure you go to sleep. Yeah, it's true. Oh, man, I got to get some immediate rest. Click. Put it on, what is it? I don't even know what their morning show is. Is that First Take? I don't know. Well, Paul, you're not a paid subscriber, so you're getting your money's worth, baby. Free value entertainment. But again, please help me with the subscribers. Share all the stuff. Please, if you think about it, tell people. Again, it's free to subscribe. If you just get 1 or 2 people, each of you that are subscribed, we're over 720. I mean, we can get to 1,000. Really need to get to 1,000. Because that puts me in a different neighborhood from a YouTube perspective. Keeps me around if I still want to do this for multiple years. And hit me up if you want a shirt. $20 here, $28 if shipped after everything. And that includes packaging and shipping. Try to keep it as low as possible. I hate shipping. I hate but it goes up so much. It's gone up so much from what it used to be. But I get it. And I thank everybody really a whole lot that is that have paid for shirts, that have gotten shirts. All the local folks, I have your shirts here. I've caught up with many of you and given you your shirts. And I've mailed out 2 more, so I'm going to get yours out later today. So, yeah. Good time to ask Rick about black uniforms. I won't give away like my pin or anything on the debit card. All right. Great stuff today. Thanks, everybody. You helped get me through. Best audience in YouTube. Enjoy your presser today, Tech fan. Continue to take the victory lap. I'm thrilled for you. You got your guy. I am. And now it's time to visit Slumberland. Everybody take care. Hope we helped you slide over the hump a little bit better than normal. See, look, remember, it's hump day. Keep calm. You don't have to keep calm today as the presser ends or as it's going on. Excited, clap, applaud, and welcome. If you're watching, James, on the plane, welcome. We'd love to have you on the show. Take care, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.